What's up, YouTube? Big Daddy here, and we are back with part 2 of the 50 things you may not know about me. So, last week I left you off at number 24, and some people may have noticed that I kind of stopped using the numbers at some point during the video, but rest assured, on my paper here, it was 24 items that I went through. So we're going to start at number 25. All right. So number 25 is, I don't think I've mentioned this a few times in videos, but I used to be a DJ up until this year. Up until 2017, I was a DJ. Now, I wasn't what you would call your DJ, your kind of DJ that's the chicka chicka chicka. I wasn't that kind of DJ. No, I was more like mobile wedding DJ, old school DJ. Everything I had was digital. At the end, started off using CDs, and then I moved everything digitally. I'm not old enough to have had a DJ setup with albums. I mean, I could have, but I wasn't into DJing at that point. We started off with CDs and went to there, but I did weddings, I did private parties, I did karaoke shows in bars. That's how I got started, really. I used to go to karaoke parties and go to karaoke bars and sing, and a guy there was running the show, and he heard me sing, and he asked me if I wanted to be work part-time with him. And after a little while, I kind of thought I could do this myself, and I found a friend who had some money. Hey, Scott, what's up? And he helped fund the business that we started with, and that's kind of how it all got started. Later on down the road, people started asking me to DJ their parties and their weddings, and one thing led to another, and that's where I ended up. But last year, I just got to the point where I was a little, if you haven't noticed, I'm a little overweight, and I know it's crazy, right? But so I'm just out of shape, and I wasn't feeling it. The last 3 years, it's been really rough, and so I just decided to get out of it and move on to do something else. So I'm gonna roll up my window. Let's see, number 26. That goes, I was just kind of mentioning, I ran a karaoke business with one of my friends while I was in college. So we'll just go over to that. 27 was about DJing weddings. I start talking and I just go through the list way too fast. Let's see. 28, my favorite drink is Diet Coke, but I also like coffee, peach tranquility tea from Starbucks, and hard apple cider if I'm drinking. I'm not a big beer fan. I'll drink a beer every now and then. If I do drink a beer, it's a Blue Moon. Once in a while, I have a Sam Adams, or a Miller Lite. But I'm not a really big beer drinker. I don't drink much at all. In fact, aside from my weight, I'm actually kind of a lightweight when it comes to alcohol. I will drink 2 beers and catch a buzz. It's pretty awesome, actually. If I haven't eaten anything, 1 beer and I'll catch a buzz, especially if it's a Blue Moon, which is like I think 5 or 6% alcohol by volume. So, and if it's on draft, I think it's a little more than that. So, let's see, number 29, my first car. That's a great story. My first car was a 1976 bright orange Chevy Nova. I was 16 years old. I had my license for a little bit, and I was at a driving around with my friends in their car, and we passed a gas station, and in the corner was this car for sale, a bright orange Chevy Nova for $150. Now, at $150, I could even afford the car, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. Let's stop and check it out. Walked into the guy who ran the gas station. I said, hey, I'm interested in buying your Nova out there, the one you got marked for $150. The guy says, the orange one? And I go, yeah. He goes, you don't want that car. And I said, what do you mean? I said, it's for sale, right? And he goes, yeah. He goes, it runs, but it's got some issues, but it's I'll give you a good deal on it if you really want it. And I offered him $100, and he took it, of course. And I went out there and I said, all right, let's started it up, and this giant cloud of black smoke just emitted from the exhaust pipe of this car. I mean, you're talking, it was just burning oil like crazy. It was so bad burning oil that I used to carry a box of WD-40, or not WD-40, what do you call it? A 5W20 or whatever, the oil I used, Valvoline or whatever. I would carry that around in my trunk, and I would check the oil every few days, and when it was low, I'd just pour a quart in, because it just burned oil like crazy. And I didn't have the money to fix the engine or anything, not to mention the fact that it had so much rust that the trunk had a hole. You could see through the floorboards and in the trunk to the ground. I had to put like a piece of like 1/2-inch thick plywood in the trunk just to have a trunk. I also put a kind of a hole patch on in the back seat where there was a hole in the floorboards there going through to the ground too, because otherwise someone could have put their foot right through into the street while it was moving. It probably would have been a little dangerous. Yeah, I mean, I drove it for 8 months. I got like my money's worth out of it. I babied the heck out of it. I didn't try to beat it up or anything. And I ended up selling it to another guy for $150, and he killed it in 3 weeks. So that was my first car. Let's see. Number 30. We're into the good car stories now. So I once had a car that lost a wheel as I was on the highway. I was driving. I had a lot of weird cars back in my early days. I had it was a copper-colored Volkswagen Scirocco. I want to say it was like an 81 or 82. And I was in love with the fact that it looked like a sports car. It had a really great sound system in it. I think it was a Blaupunkt or something. Really, it had a good sound, good stereo. Which of course, when you're 17 years old, that's the best. Might have been 18, I don't know. But I was driving around, and I was on the highway, and I was going to get off. So luckily, I wasn't doing like 80. I was doing like, honestly, if I was doing 80 in that car, it would have probably rattled itself apart. But I was doing like 35, getting on the off-ramp of this to go off the highway. And all of a sudden, I notice I'm driving along, and I feel the car just go kunk like this. And I hear this, and I just grinded all the way to a stop. And I look in front of me, and my right rear tire is flying down the highway. It hit the side of this lady's car, and she got out of her car and came running up to me, and she was like, I'm gonna, look at that, what you did to my car. I'm gonna sue you. And I looked at her and I said, lady, I'm a teenager. I have a car that has a wheel that just fell off. I work a part-time job making $9 an hour. If you want to sue me, go ahead, but you're not going to get a whole lot. And she just got mad, stormed off. She never sued me. But luckily I didn't get hurt, and nothing bad ever happened. So that was number 30. 31 is an even better story. Okay, so when I turned 18, I went out and bought a 1988 Pontiac Le Mans. And if you ever seen this car, I used to call it the egg on wheels. It wasn't white though, it was black. But Pontiac redesigned the Le Mans in '88, and it was an ugly car. It just looked like a big egg. It's all that's the only way I could describe it. And they had a deal. It was like a first-time buyer program, so it was like no money down, first-time buyers, no credit. So you could get the car. I mean, they charge you a little higher percentage rate, but at 18, I bought a brand new 1988 Pontiac Le Mans. I drove that car for quite a while. And I'd say around 3-4 years after I owned the car, the driver's side seat kind of broke. And to the point where it was almost like I was laying down the whole time I was driving. So what I used to do, because I was a stupid kid and I never got it fixed, is I would hold the steering wheel and kind of pull myself up and drive. So I'm putting all my weight pretty much on the steering wheel of this car for over a year. And I noticed that the steering wheel was wobbly. And I didn't, of course, again, I ignored it. So one day I'm driving to work. And now, again, this, knock on wood, these things happen, for me, they've happened at the right time where I wasn't in a position where I would have gotten hurt. But it's still the craziest thing. So I'm at an intersection. I'm literally like, here's where I'm at, and my work is like right here, okay? And I could see the front door of the office I was going to. And I go to turn the wheel to turn in. And the wheel starts turning. But nothing happens. The wheels on the car don't turn. Like, I can't move. I can move the car, but I'm going straight. I'm not turning. So I'm going, what the heck? And I did like this with the steering wheel, and all of a sudden I pulled a little bit, and the whole steering wheel came off in my hands. The whole friggin' steering wheel came off in my hands. I called my boss. I said, hey boss, I'm gonna be late to work. I gotta get a tow. He's like, what do you mean? I go, well, I'm literally right outside the office, so I was trying to come to work, but the steering wheel on my car fell off, and I had to call a tow truck to get it towed to a shop to get it fixed. And he says, don't move. Where am I going to go? I'm in a car with no wheel. He's like, don't move. I have to see this. And he came running out to where I was, saw me, and he goes, I cannot believe, how did you do this? And I told him the story, and he's like, you're an idiot. And yes, sometimes my wife calls me an idiot, and I am sometimes an idiot. So, that is the car with no steering wheel story. All right, so I've been in one accident that was where I was driving the car, and luckily it wasn't my fault. It happened last year. I was on the way home from visiting my mom in the hospital. It was raining. I was at an intersection, and some lady turned in front of me at the last minute, and I clipped the back of her bumper. Everybody was okay, and the insurance company didn't find me at fault and paid for all the damages and made her company pay for the deductible and everything. So, yay. Let's see. My father, he was also named John. He died in 1990 from lung cancer. He was a great guy, lots of fun, life of the party. He liked to smoke, and he also liked to drink too. But he drank beer and he smoked cigarettes, and the beer was fine, but it was like he smoked Lucky Strikes when he was 17 years old and smoked for 40 years, and at the age of 57 he died from lung cancer. And that's all I can say about it. It's a sad thing, and everybody I guess has their thing, has their vices. His was smoking and drinking, and a couple of my siblings have the same vice. I was there in the hospital bed when they were cleaning out the tracheotomy tube. I saw his face turn purple, and that was enough to scare me away from cigarettes forever. However, I have the vice of eating. My vice is food, and unfortunately I haven't beat that demon yet, which is why I'm the size I am. And I know people are saying, why are you doing food reviews, you idiot? Because I'm an idiot. No, no. I do food reviews because it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. People like to eat, and I wanted to do something fun, and everybody, I think, associates eating with something fun, a fun activity. Will I need to change my eating habits? Yeah, maybe I should do the food reviews and only take a few bites of the bad food. And maybe I should review more healthy foods. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. That would be great. That was number 33. 34, I never smoked because of my dad's death. I did it again. Let's see, 35. Something quirky. I am a TV infomercial product junkie. I love TV infomercial products. I have owned a Ronco rotisserie. I have owned an air fryer. I've owned a rotisserie oven, the air cyclone oven that they had, where they made it bigger to put the turkey in. I've had one of those. Let's see. I've had a George Foreman grill. I've had those sandwich press things that make the little sandwiches that are like pizza puffs. So I wanted to get the Ronco Pocket Fisherman back in the day when I was a little kid, and my dad thought that was stupid and he would never buy it for me. But you never know, I might still get one. First time I ever got drunk, I was 15 years old. I was with my friend Dean. We were a couple of punk kids, and we were hanging out, and I said, have you ever been drunk? And he said, no, I've never been drunk. I go, I'd like to try to get drunk. He goes, how are we going to do that? So he stole beer from his dad, and I stole beer from my dad. I think we each stole about 8 cans of beer from each of our fathers. And he had a woods out behind his house. And we told our parents we were going to go camp in the woods behind his house. And then we stashed the beer, and we got some Doritos. I think we even brought a steak. Like, we were going to cook a steak. We couldn't even start a fire. We ended up starting a fire, but we didn't have anything to cook the steak on, so we just ended up eating the Doritos and getting drunk and puking our guts out later on. The next day, I felt like crap. I was hungover so bad, but that was the first time I ever got drunk. Let's see, 37. Oh yeah, in the 1990s, because I am old, I was big into country line dancing. Back when country line dancing was the big thing, it was just a great way to meet chicks. I was single. And it was a great way to meet women, and it was a lot of fun. And that was during the time when I was the bar, a little old, 21 to 24-ish. It was the bar time, so it was, that's where I would go. And I'm a country music fan, so I'd go hang out at the country bars and learn to line dance. I learned to line dance, learned a two-step, did a double two-step, a whole bunch of different weird line dances, slapping leather and some kind of kick thing and stupid dance and all sorts of crazy stuff. Some of my friends out there in YouTube land, they'll probably recognize some of the things I'm saying. But it was lots of fun. I had a good time, and that was what I did. And let's see, my favorite movies, number 38. Favorite movies are Goodfellas. You talking to me? No, that's Taxi Driver. Never mind. Goodfellas. Do I Like a Clown? Do I Make You Laugh? Caddyshack, Die Hard, and Tombstone. I'm your Huckleberry. But I like many others too. I'm kind of a movie junkie. I'm a big fan of movies, but those are my favorites. If those movies are on, I will probably watch them. Also Rocky, all the Rocky movies. I know a lot of people are groaning right now, but if a Rocky movie's on and if a Rocky marathon is on, I'm gonna watch it. I even like Rocky 5, which is probably the worst Rocky with Tommy Morrison in it. But I'm a big fan of Rocky movies. Let's see. Yes, I have been in 4 or 5 different. This was number 39. I have been in 4 or 5 different multi-level marketing companies. I have been a part of Amway. I have been part of New Skin. I have been part of ACN, which is a telecommunications company. Isogenics, and there was one other one. Oh yeah, there was a SFI, which is an online one. And none of them, obviously, I'm not rich. I'm not making $100,000 a month. I don't drive in Learjets or anything like that. I don't have a Rolls Royce. So I haven't achieved the fabulous riches that are promised in all the rah-rah meetings that they have in those. But I like the concept of a multi-level marketing company where you got these products and you're working together with people and you're helping people succeed. The only problem I always have with multi-level marketing companies is the products, because they have to cover all the commissions that they're paying, the products are always extremely expensive, and lots of times you can get the same thing or something similar in a store for a lot less. And most people, the bottom line is the dollar. If they could find a multi-level marketing company where the products were fair, were competitively priced with what you could buy in the store, and it was really easy to get people in and really easy to maintain your qualifying levels and stuff, it would be a winner. But I haven't seen one yet, and it's always the case where that's how I always end up dropping out of those. Let's see. Oh yes, I once ran a window washing business for 2 weeks. I've said this before. I'm kind of a serial entrepreneurial kind of guy. I love the idea of owning my own business. I was out of work. I was in between jobs, and I wanted to figure out a way to make money. And I saw these guys washing windows one day while I was out, and I thought, well, I could do that. And it's an outside job. In the summertime, it's great. I mean, in the winter, it would kind of suck, but I could totally do that. That's easy, and I was a lot younger then. And so I went out and I went out and I bought window washing buckets and squeegees and poles, and I think I spent a good $500 worth of stuff to start this business. I made flyers, I canvassed the area by my house. I think I got after I did that, I think I got 2 or 3 clients that hired me. But the problem was, I was charging $5 per window for each business I did, inside and out. So if a place had a storefront with 4 windows, that would be $20 for the 4 windows inside and out. And I thought that was a pretty fair price. However, I was immediately told by many, many business owners that I was incredibly expensive. That I didn't do a good enough job to warrant the price. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, we had a guy last week come here and he did our windows for $1 a window, and he was much faster and way better than you were. So after about 2 weeks, I kind of realized I probably couldn't compete in that business. So I ended up giving away a lot of the squeegee stuff to my brother, who had a house with really high windows, and getting out of that business. I knew when to cut bait and run on that one. Let's see. Number 41. I have only been outside the continental United States twice in my life. Once I was I went to Canada, which technically, well, I should say, out of the United States. The continent itself I was still part of, but I went to Canada for work. And literally, when I say I went to Canada, it wasn't like I went way up into the north, Canada, way up there. I was across the border from Detroit. I could see Detroit from where I was at. We had a client there at this company I work for, and we had to fly to Detroit and then drive to Canada. And the one thing I found out about the area I went to, it was very, 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 very big on donut shops and strip clubs. They had a lot of donut shops and they had a ton of strip clubs in this area. I don't know why. And I also noticed that they had coins called loonies, which I just thought was hilarious. And then the other time I went out of the country was with my wife. We went to Jamaica, and that was phenomenal. That was the best vacation I think I've ever had, ever. We were going to do it on the cheap, kind of be conservative as far as what we were spending, and found out that we could get a ocean front suite and a butler for an extra $1,000. And I said, put that $1,000 on a credit card and let's get the butler. And so we kind of went nuts, and we just went crazy because I figured I'm never going to be in Jamaica again. Probably not. I don't know. Let's just do it up right. And we did. And we had a butler, and he packed our clothes and unpacked our clothes, and he made us drinks, and it was just freaking awesome. It was the coolest vacation ever, and I had a great time. Let's see. Number 42. My favorite video game currently is Clash Royale on my iPhone. I am so addicted to that game. You will find me playing that game every single day. Every day I play it at least 5 times, maybe 20 times. I don't know. It's a quick 3-minute game every time you play, and you either win or lose, but it's just this easy thing you could pick up and quickly play in 3 minutes. And it's a lot of fun. It's like you against another guy. It's a real person, and you have to, use your dudes to kill their dudes and knock their towers down, and they have to kill yours. Look it up on Google, Clash Royale. If you haven't played it before, it's pretty freaking cool. I also like. I'm not real big on first-person shooters, although I tried playing Fortnite. It's just too fast for me. I'm too old for that. It's just too fast, and there's too many little punk kids coming around killing people. But there is a game that's just like Fortnite called PUBG, and I started playing that one, and that one seems a little more slower paced. And you don't have to worry about building houses while you're fighting. I don't get the whole building and fighting. I get it, but I just can't. It's too much multitasking. It freaks me out. And that one, you're more hiding and stuff. And honestly, in reality, if you were in the middle of a battle in a war, you wouldn't be building a house while you're shooting a gun. It's just crazy. So in that case, I like that one better. Let's see. I like racing games too. I'm pretty good at those. Number 43, I have a bachelor's degree from DeVry in computer information systems. I am a computer programmer. Went there, I'm dating myself. I graduated in 1996, probably before a lot of you were born. Yeah, young whippersnappers, yeah. But yeah, before that, I was just kind of a job drifter. I would take jobs and like them, quit them, whatever. Let's see, number 44. I'm constantly looking for ways to become independently wealthy. Hence the YouTube channel. Yes, I believed at one point that I could make my riches on YouTube. I still kind of do, but it's going to take me longer now. I was already making money with YouTube. I was already making $5, $6, $7 a month on my channel and my views, and then they pulled the rug out from under me and said, nah, you got to get 1,000 subscribers and you got to get 4,000 watch time hours. So we're back to making Zippo, but that's okay. I don't do it strictly for the money. I do it for the fun and the enjoyment, and I really do enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun, and it's great meeting all you people and talking to you people. I hope one day I can meet some of you in person. Let's see here. And it's pretty cool, though. I go into the Starbucks by my house, and they know who I am, which is awesome. I feel famous. Let's see. I wanted to be a rock star in high school. I was, I sing. I was in chorus. I sing. I was in a band. I had this belief that I was going to do the whole music life. I was going to join a band, and I was gonna hit the road and be a starving artist. And at some point I came to the realization that even if you're the best singer in the world, there's a more than 70, 80, 90% chance that you're never going to accomplish anything in music, because you have to be in the right place at the right time. You have to know the right people. It's a lot of luck besides talent. And anyone that people have seen or believe is a overnight sensation, it's probably taken them 10 years to get to that point when they're discovered. There's no such thing, very rarely is there a such thing as an overnight sensation. Even Bieber, who was discovered on YouTube by Usher, was doing it for quite a while. He was singing for quite a while. Was in singing contests and competitions. So, all these guys, Britney Spears, Aguilera, they were a little kid in Disney, and they did all their thing way before. You have to 100% dive right in and throw your life right into that. And because of that, if you do, you're sacrificing a lot of other things. Just like a famous, an athlete who wants to be a pro athlete, they have to practice that hours on hours and thousands of days, and it's all you do. So if it's all you do, then at some point you either have to come to a realization that you've made it or you haven't. And if you haven't, how much are you willing to give up to earn it? So I don't know. I'm rambling on, but I just decided to have a real life and not try to pursue pie in the sky. Even though I still would like to get on The Voice and win. Ha ha ha. I said that for someone's benefit. Let's see. I like doing YouTube videos, and things are actually going better than I expected they would. I wasn't sure how people would react until I saw some food review channels out there. But I'm not 19 years old. I'm not a kid, and there's a lot of younger guys on YouTube doing stuff. I don't have a drone shooting aerial footage. I wasn't sure how it would go, but so far so good. We're gonna keep at it. I have never ever ridden a horse. When I was a little kid, I was on pony rides, because all kids have a pony ride usually. But I've never actually, as a full-grown adult, ridden a horse. Part of that is because I've always been overweight, and usually the weight limit is less than what I weighed. So, and I didn't want to kill a horse. These days, I would never even try to get on a poor horse. Maybe a Clydesdale, but then I would kill myself because I'd probably fall off, and they're very tall. Let's see. I am afraid of heights. Like, if I watch movies where the good guy or the bad guy are fighting up high and there's a chance they could fall to their death, my palms become a sweaty, nasty mess. You know, some shows are even so bad, palms and feet become a sweaty. It's just, I hate heights. The other thing I'm afraid of is tight spaces. Go figure. I claustrophobia to a point. I mean, I can get into an elevator, fine. But if I have to, like I was in a haunted house one time, and there was a part of the haunted house where it was dark, and in order to get from one point to the next, you had to crawl through a tube to get to the next section of the haunted house. And it was either that or take the emergency exit. I chose the emergency exit. I ain't doing that. So yeah, those are the two things. Let's see. I have 2 more left. Number 40, that was 48. This is 49. I hate the movie Anaconda because I hate that scene in the movie. It's in the fairly early part of the movie where the guy gets killed by the snake. He fell into the river and he gets crushed, you know, by the snake. He squishes him to death. And then he eats him from the top down, and you literally can see the snake's mouth going over the guy's head. That's that whole tight spaces thing. Oh, hell no. Nope. I hate that movie. Freaks me out. I had nightmares about that movie for like a week afterwards. And I'm not a big nightmare after watching scary movies kind of guy. I mean, I can watch like, you know, Friday the 13th, Halloween, all those horror movies, and they don't freak me out. But, you know, that would freak me out. And lastly, if you've made it this far, when I started this channel, I did not plan on doing food reviews, but I planned on doing food reviews and tech reviews and movie reviews and other types of things, like a kind of an overall review channel. But the food reviews seem to work best. So that is what I stuck with, and that is what I transitioned to after about the first couple of weeks. I decided that food reviews was the way I was going to go. And so here we are. So that's the 50 things that you may not have known about me. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, tap the notifier bell so you know when the next video is coming out. And if you do like this video, leave me some comments below. You know, we can do other videos like this. Obviously not exactly like this, but, you know, some cool things. And if you don't like this video, tell me there too. So that's it, guys. Remember, before you take the first bite, you got to stuff it in your pie hole.